Hey, this is Tim from Jeep Tubes, and you're listening to the XJ Talk Show.
Hey guys, welcome to the pre-show, episode 126 of the XJ Talk Show. Getting a little bit of a late start this evening due to primarily that blanking Flash. If you don't use Windows or a Flash player, then you don't know what I'm talking about. It was giving me fits, so I had to restart the system. So, going to get Josh on here in a minute, and we'll get going, have a little discussion about the show first, and then we'll get on our merry way. So sit back, get ready, strap yourself in. That's not a strap on. Just strap yourself in and get ready for the XJ Talk Show.
Hey, 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 hey.
So Flash Player was coming on and off. You could look at the processes in the task manager, and they were starting and stopping about every 3.5 seconds. So I tried closing all my windows, all my browsers to get rid of it, kill them, and they just kept doing it. Every time I'd start one of the browsers up, not sure which one it was. Didn't have time to debug it, you know? So restart.
Start then? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. You could, when I was typing in what I was going to do into the notes, it was actually affecting the keys that I was pressing. It was using up so much CPU time. So I'm going to get into the process of rebooting on Thursday, well prior to the show. If it wasn't something, it would always be something.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Let's see. Always have to think about where it was that we stick. Oh, that's right. It's on the Dropbox. No wonder I can't find it. I was just telling the audience before you called back in that our little problems here tonight, and that because getting a late start because you and I needed to talk about. Everything seems to be working. I can hear you. I might need to check your levels because when I moved this equipment, I tried not to disconnect the audio cables, but I may have fumbled with some of the knobs as I was trying to move it from my desk to just, about a foot over, but into the rack.
Nice. Everything down.
Hang on a second, you're chopping. Let me grab this file, and then I'll look at your audio. Try it now and see if maybe it was a Skype thing that was causing you to chop.
I don't know if it's our connection or what's going on. Everything seems to be doing normal around here. The music is fairly loud on my end, though. It's coming from you. I mean, you sound normal. When you stop talking and the music comes in, it just kind of gets louder and louder and louder and louder, and then...
Oh, let me see if I've got the Skype thing should not be set for auto. It should be fixed, but let me see if that has changed. The Microsoft bastards force you to update, even though you keep telling it no. Let's see. No, automatically is off.
Yep, same here on both.
So, does that? Am I too low now? Because I just turned down the audio going to you.
No, you sound fine.
Music is the music changing in volume?
No, it's behind you, kind of like it should be.
Still no change?
You dropped off a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think I was as close to the microphone.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's go with that. So who knows what the hell they're doing? I wish there was an alternative. Okay, so 49A was the right promo, right? I mean, the right opening?
Yeah, I think I didn't I think you updated it in the show notes.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
And also, too, the title bar that I was talking about, did a little change to it. It's still the red and the white and the blue, but now we've got a mud tire, and you have a black Cherokee and I have a red Cherokee on the bar.
That sounds kind of cool. I'm going to pop over to YouTube here right now, get the live stream up and going here.
So let's see. So I'm thinking of a new segment that is very, very short and has absolutely nothing to do with Jeeps. It could have, but it's mainly just very short, little, hopefully humorous things.
I like that.
And the name of the segment would be Things You Think About While Sitting in the Bathroom.
Oh, jeez.
You know, before there were smartphones and you had something to entertain yourself and you're just sitting there and sitting there. Things you think about in the bathroom while you're sitting. Well, things that you think about while you're sitting in the bathroom, number 42. What the hell did that guy eat?
Okay, I'm just doing some cleanup here on the show notes, getting things a little more organized. Flows right. Some feng shui in here. I don't know what's going on with my monitor. I sound more quiet in my headphones than I normally do.
I don't want to spoil it for you, but fourth monitor coming tomorrow.
I saw that. I saw the in chat you post up. You ordered a monitor and stands and all that stuff.
Yep. And the monitor was actually coming from a different source through Amazon, but not shipped by Amazon, so it's not a Prime thing. But thankfully, they stepped up, and they're going to have the monitor here tomorrow as well. So all the things will be here tomorrow. I'll be taking this dual desk monitor stand off, and I get to tell my youngest daughter I was going to let her have it since she has two smaller monitors, and she can use it.
That'll be a nice surprise.
Yep. And then I'll have the single to hold the one over here on the left, and then I'll have the dual vertical for the middle. And I think that's going to be pretty cool because I hope I'm not looking up too high for the show notes now, but instead of looking below the camera, I'll actually be looking more up at the camera because I'll still leave the camera where it is, and it will be in between the two monitors. So is there anything we need to go over? I've got, the only thing I didn't do is I didn't put in there how many voicemails we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 voicemails tonight. 2 are Nikki G. One is, the first one is Juliet Johnny. I guess I can put them in there so we can sound like we're a real show. And I added that Cartman 4241 comment.
Yeah, I saw that.
But he actually changed up a bit. I don't know if he reposted that or not, but that's it. Basically, the new one is basically the same as the old one, but perhaps worded a little more better, as I like to say. That's better with a B. So, where's the voicemails? Towards the end. There it is. So that one is 26 seconds. And then we'll have Nikki G. Wow. Hope I didn't get the same one twice on there because they're both 26 seconds.
Hey, this is Nikki G.
Hey, this is Joliet Johnny.
No, exactly 26 seconds each.
Hey, I got a note here in the show notes, kind of carried over from the last show, Tap Talk video promo commercial. Are we you playing that?
I have it on the board. We certainly can.
Okay.
I don't know what the hell's wrong with Dickie G. He must have been sick or something, because look at the length of these voicemails. That's really hit and run.
Yeah, I noticed the last couple voicemails. It's been pretty short. Maybe he's suffering some writer's block lately.
Easy to do when you're doing things for each show.
Yeah.
All these are very short, which is not a bad thing. It's great that they took the time to call in.
Yeah, absolutely.
That one that you mentioned, unless it's really short, I don't... maybe it's the Scooby-Doo one. I didn't have time to listen to all of these.
Scooby-Doo?
There on the show notes where it says Scooby-Doo. It is in the voice-to-text conversion, it says Scooby-Doo, so I just try to put something in there that makes it... some identifiable thing. So you're ready with the Audible thing, right?
I am, sir.
Okay. And I've got your promo and yeah.
When you bringing on the cameras again? You turn on the cameras like right after the music starts?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Let's see. Usually about right there.
Okay.
Camera should be on. This takes me a couple of seconds to start that, think about what I'm doing, remember, who I am, what's going on, and then move the mouse over to the video software.
Where am I? What's going on here?
Where is that music coming from? What's this thing on my head? Oh, okay. That's my neck. Okay, so let me just try this real quick, make sure everything's set up. Yep, looks good. By the way, I'm wearing a fashionably purple shirt with a collar.
Purple?
And
wow,
a red
I'd expect you to wear.
And a red hat. I ran out of colors to buy on Amazon for my
rainbow tonight, it sounds like.
Yeah. Well, I started to go with a more conservative black hat and the purple, but I thought, I'll put a red hat on. That'd be funny.
All right, man. We're almost 20 minutes after. Let's
real quick. So you saw my notes on the chit chat.
No, I saw the inception of that and about 2 or 3 pages worth of back and forth, and then I didn't get a chance to check on it today. So we'll talk about it more during the show. But yeah, that's awesome.
I just want to make sure that you were okay with that. I'm not planning on going out on a limb or a tangent or anything. Just kind of factual type thing. But I think that to me it's shocking, and we'll go into it during the chit chat. But if you don't mind, if we could open up on that in case it goes long.
Yeah, we'll do that first. And I mean, we can always talk about my stuff. It's not very pertinent. It's more just BSing than anything.
Well, the thing that we do best.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll get it started.
All right.
Of the weird coming across the XJ Talk Show news desk. Local Wisconsin woman has arms surgically lengthened so that she can take better selfies. Full report and the long and short of it all coming up right after this.
That was pretty good.
Hey, this broadcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Over 150,000 titles to choose for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial over at Audible.com, audibletrial.com/xjtalkshow. There.
Welcome to the XJ Talk Show. You are listening to the Jeep Cherokee Premier Podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Tony and Josh. Take it away, boys.
Thank you very much, disembodied voice. Very good voice, too. Hey, this is Tony. You know me as Motoroy on xjtalk.com, and we're here for XJ Talk Show episode 126. That's three more than 123.
Something like that. I was told there'd be no math, Tony.
You were lied to.
I was. Always getting misled over here. Hey, guys, I'm Josh, otherwise known as NW99XJ or Northwest99XJ over at xjtalk.com.
You know what I found, Josh? Since I've moved the equipment, I have to really stretch over there to adjust your audio levels now. It was a great idea when I thought about it. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, I got the massive amount of audio equipment off my desk and mounted on a little 19-inch wall-mounted rack, and it really looks cool over there. And I guess if I don't have to adjust the knobs, I should be okay. I might need to lengthen my arms for a different reason.
Hey, there you go.
Good segue. It was an afterthought, of course.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, Tony's controlling the whole show over there. He's in a different state than I am. We are connecting through Skype. And, he's got all the master knobs and controls at his disposal, and of course has to make room for all of that good stuff. And, well, we'll get into that a little bit later as well.
Hey, this is the XJ Talk Show, a podcast about Jeep Cherokees, off-roading, and the tech that you need to get you there and back. We're here to promote the web's most premier website for all that is Jeep Cherokee, xjtalk.com. It's the friendliest and most helpful Jeep site on the web. xjtalk.com encourages and answers all questions and concerns that the first-time XJ owner typically have without flaming or criticism, all while giving you the best and most in-depth articles and write-ups for repairs and modifications that take the average XJ to the next level. Now get ready. It's the XJ Talk Show, and it starts right now.
First week in Jeep.
Well, it is April, and, well, we just had Easter, and, well, on the Easter tip, hey, Easter eggs have been discovered on the 2015 Jeep Renegade. Now, we've been talking about the 2015 Jeep Renegade quite a bit. We've all heard about its stats, numbers, options, even heard about how fuel efficient it's going to be and how many toys are going to be crammed into its tiny itty-bitty little frame, which I'm pretty sure is going to be more of a unibody than an actual frame, but I digress. Since Jeep lately seems to be at every opportunity reminding us about their 7-slatted off-road heritage, guilty much? We thought it might be a little fun to see if we can find some Easter eggs on the new mini SUV. Now, first and foremost is the jerry can style X markings, which are so pervasive, I'd be more apt to call it a design theme rather than an Easter egg. Now, you can see it in the taillights, on the roof, in the cup holders, shifter surround. It's pretty much all over the thing. Now, I'm sure it has to be in other places as well, but barring an up-close personal inspection, that's all I can find for now, at least going off of pictures and stuff online. So all the good stuff you can find, all the little Easter eggs hidden about on this little SUV, topographical maps everywhere. You can see also the Sarge grill. If you guys don't know what Sarge grill is, well, it's pretty much the iconic Willys grill. The 2 headlights, the 7 slats, pretty much what started off the iconic Jeep grill, what you think of when you think of a Jeep grill. It's in the cargo tray below the center stack. Topographical map is also in the center console storage bin. The Sarge grill is in the headlight bulb support. We've actually seen this one before on the 2011 Jeep Grand Cherokees. Take a closer look, guys. It's actually kind of cool. Now, Sarge is also stamped into the taillight lenses, right smack dab in the middle of the X that I've been mentioning. The military-style scripted no-step warning stamped into the side skirt. You guys got to heed this thing. From what I hear, it'll snap right off if you put any weight on it. Should make a good rock slider, I think. Now, Sarge grill is also found in the speaker surrounds and on both sides of the support behind the rear view mirror. Now, the Willys Jeep is also painted on the Trailhawk wheels, which is kind of cool. Sarge grill stamped into the inside of the tailgate as well in a larger-than-life size format. Now, it's not a true Easter egg, but Jeep even managed to work that X into the actual Renegade Trailhawk badge found on the rear gate. Now, this also doesn't really count as an Easter egg either, but Jeep wants to remind you that, to remember that they've been doing this since 1941. Every time you look at the infotainment screen smack dab in the middle of the dash, you'll see more of that iconic military lettering. Hey, if you guys know of a little hidden Easter egg that I might have missed, or you've actually seen one of these things in person, let me know. I'd like to hear from you. Now, the 2014 Beijing Auto Show is getting all the good stuff. Not only do the overseas markets get all the cool diesel options that we are likely never to see, but the Beijing Auto Show is going to see the first-hand smattering of new design concepts by Jeep. The Green Hornet concept. That's right, I said Green Hornet. Of the 2015 Jeep Renegade. Boy, I bet you there's two things you never thought you'd hear in one sentence. Being painted in a rather odd color called warm chocolate gray, and further dressed up with bronze detailing, gray-tinted glass, matte gray bumpers, and 18-inch matte gray alloys with yellow brake pads. Now, doesn't that just sound like a bowl full of dog food driving down the road? Now, this is just in some futuristic version of the vehicle that is likely never to see production. No, this is a real package that will be available in the late 2015 model year, at least to China. Will it hit here in the U.S.? Well, let's hope not. Now, other design concepts being revealed are also potential trim packages, more than radical modeling changes. The Jeep Cherokee Sageland, inspired by the historical landmarks and scenery throughout the Shangri-La region, the Sageland design concept shines brightly in an ivory tri-coat pearl color with bronze accents on the front and rear ends. The roof rack, side mirror caps, and exhaust tips all finished in a satin bronze chrome. The earthy tones continue inside with a light gray, almost white Napa leather seating, in contrast with red and blue stitching, which is inspired by Chinese knot design, and while these patterns are also found on the doors, is supposed to mimic Chinese ornamental doorknobs. The Jeep Cherokee Urbane design concept. As its name suggests, the Urbane design concept emulates the urban nightlife in a modern megacity with glamour and elegance. And no, not a Bane mask with crotchless panties and a black nightie. No, it's actually quite manly sounding, coated in Maxim steel metallic paint. The Urbane concept looks sleek, especially with the hyper black accents on the roof racks, side mirror caps, front grille, wheels, and badging. Chinese calligraphy decorates the interior on the door panels, bringing out the elegance of the concept and it's trying to convey. Dark red Napa leather seats features bright red stitching, while the floor mats feature unique decorative pattern inspired by traditional Chinese windows. Now, the last one here is the Jeep Wrangler Sundancer concept. Although the Wrangler in our mind is meant to get dirty, the Chinese concept designers would like you to believe that it still has sophisticated and fashionable side, as shown on the Sundancer design concept, painted in a tri-coat chocolate brown metallic color, which I gotta say is very unique and reminds me of a root beer. It has gold accents. It also features unique fender flares that are finished in a ghosted bronze pattern. In addition to bronze tinted windows, lots of bronze on this thing. LED headlights and taillights also decorated with the same bronze, the brown and bronze color scheme. It's really a little too much. What really grabs your attention, other than the colors on this concept, are the large 20-inch pale gold billet wheels with polished gold inserts. Moving inside, the cabin features perforated seat inserts and berry-colored leather. It's actually almost purple. Other leather-covered elements feature hand-sewn provocateur lace stitching, gold paint on the door handles, steering wheel, bezel grab handle. Basically, this thing's a whole lot of bling, and it's quite ugly. Frankly, the design concepts that we're going to be seeing at the Chinese Auto Show, or the Beijing Auto Show, well, like, some of them are kind of cool, some are a little gaudy. In any case, kind of neat. Got to go online and check them out. Hey, if you guys like to see, you have a story, you'd like to submit a story to be aired on This Week in Jeep, please send me an email to newstips@xjtalk.com.
Josh, why do you have to be such a negative Nelly?
I'm just the eternal pessimist, apparently.
No, I think it's good. It's our opinion, and it's a funny one. So I appreciate that. But yeah, I don't know. It's like you can go overboard whenever you're designing your Cherokee. Sometimes it's a lot of fun. It's always fun to do modifications, and sometimes you don't have a lot of funds to do that modification. And you think, well, look, I can get these taillight guards for $50, or I can make some, and I'm doing something to the Jeep. So I kind of wonder if it has to do with just wanting to modify the Jeep.
Very well could be. We all love to modify the Jeeps. The Chinese are getting into the spirit as well, apparently.
Well, great information. Really enjoyed that.
This is Dan from the 4x4 Podcast, and you're listening to the XJ Talk Show.
xjtalk.com is where you go when you're not off-road. And now you can go to xjtalk.com when you're off-road too. Using your smartphone, install the Tap a Talk app, then search for XJ Talk. Take XJ Talk with you wherever you go. Jury duty, dinner with your spouse's parents, even, well, anywhere you need your XJ Talk fix.
We welcome and look forward to your questions and comments. Dial 530-675-4102 and leave your message on our 24/7 voicemail.
I know you've heard us talk about Amazon on the podcast before, but have you heard about our new game?
You bought what?
It's a lot of fun, and we want you guys to play along. All you have to do is go to xjtalk.com or xjtalkshow.com and click on the Amazon banner there on the main page. This takes you right to Amazon, where you can buy any crazy little thingamajig to join in on the fun. Amazon gives us a list every week of what you guys are buying, but we don't get to know who it is that's buying it. As an added bonus, you get the same great price you always would, and Amazon is going to give the show a small pittance for you playing along. So let's all have some fun. The XJ Talk Show and Amazon.com.
Hey, it's that time again to welcome our newest YouTube subscribers.
Hey, we've had a good jump in the last week, guys. We're approaching that 500 mark quite rapidly. If you don't hear your name on this list here very soon, hang tight. We'll get to it eventually. We pick 4 out every week to just give a little shout out, a little nod of the hat to James Cooklock, first on our list tonight.
It looks easy, but when you try to say it, it's like, what the hell's that? No offense, James. It's just, that's an unusual last name. And Woson?
Woason, maybe, or Wason.
I don't know.
I recognize that name. I think he left us a voicemail or a review here recently as well.
Yep, Woason111.
And CR Timms or Kurt Timms, a number 3 spot.
It might be CRT M's. And then Blading 916s. 484 subscribers so far. Thanks very much for subscribing.
Hey guys, last week I kind of debuted kind of a new segment. It's not something that I've done before, but I might be doing this on a weekly basis, so we'll see how it goes. I'm calling it Props, Kudos, and Shoutouts. And last week I told you guys about a fellow Jeeper. He goes by Jeep Freak over on xjtalk.com. He's having some health issues lately and actually kind of in a life or death situation. Kind of had a death scare, in fact. He was into some pretty bad shape for a little while. But this last Thursday, in fact, I got word of on Friday, in fact, after the last week's show, he went in for some internal bleeding. It was kind of a serious matter. He's all better now. Things got taken care of for the most part. He is having some more tests done and should hear back this week as to just how much damage has been done to his liver and his kidneys. You guys don't know what I'm talking about. I told you a little bit about Andrew and his health issues, where he was taking some medication and it kind of screwed him up a little bit. He had to be on it for longer than people are normally supposed to, and, well, it did some damage to his body. And just how much damage? Well, we don't know yet. Now, there is some good news, though. Some of the symptoms associated with all this have been decreasing in severity. Even his doctors can't fully explain it. I'd like to take some credit for it personally here, and you guys' help as well when I asked you to send some good thoughts and some prayers his way. Bottom line, well, it seems like our friend Andrew is on the mend, and will hopefully not have to undergo any organ removal or transplant after all. Now, stay well, buddy. I know we've all been rooting here for you, and we'll continue to do so. And I'll continue to update you guys on Andrew's condition as things, hopefully, will continue to get better. Hey, if you guys know somebody who's going through a hard time right now, could use a little shout out on the show, or know a fellow Jeeper who has gone above and beyond in the wheeling community, let us know. Send me an email to newstips@xjtalk.com, or you can even leave us a voicemail. Let us know somebody who's doing right in your area.
Well, that's great news. I love hearing the doctors can't explain it. That's usually a good thing.
Exactly. Yeah, he said the doctors can't explain it. You know, he's really made a substantial turnaround. There was this whole scare with the internal bleeding, kind of got everybody on edge there a little bit. But then after that, it seemed like that was just his body's way of flushing out the bad, so to speak. I don't know, because after that, he seemed to really start making some improvements by leaps and bounds. So, it's still day-to-day sort of thing. He had some jaundice associated with the liver failure. That's yellowing of the skin and the eyes and stuff, and that is starting to decrease and everything. He is doing a lot of homeopathic and naturopathic supplements and trying to get himself on the mend on his own the way he can without having to throw too many chemicals and harsh medications and stuff back into his system, which, frankly, caused all this to begin with. So, he's doing what he can, and of course we're doing what we can by at least keeping his spirits high, and he's definitely got his own spirits high. He's got a good sense of humor, and he continues to show some good spirit all throughout the day, at least through the chat over at xjtalk.com.
Well, I remember my oldest son was a little jaundiced when he was born, and we had to take him outside or at least have him next to a window so he could get some sunlight. So I wonder if Jeep Freak has been laying out in the sun. I forget where he is, but I don't know what the weather's like. Of course, we've had a high of 87 here so far.
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, so I don't know if he can lay out. I'm glad that I don't get jaundice because the FAA has prohibited me from laying out. I'm too close to an airport.
Yeah. No, we don't want to be blinding the pilots now.
What the hell is that? Roll Shamu back in. Yes.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway, so let's get into our reviews. I'm sorry to say we're not getting any iTunes or Stitcher reviews, but getting lots of good things said about us on xjtalk.com, which is great to hear. I just think that a few more people would see it if you people would put it on iTunes or Stitcher. But thank you very much for the comments.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. And hey, if you are listening to the podcast through iTunes, just please take a second to pop over, give us a 5-star review. Actually, it doesn't have to be a 5-star review, guys. Just leave a review and leave a comment. Even if it's constructive criticism, we love the feedback no matter what it is. So I invite you guys to head over there and take care of that right now. So
that's kind of a marketing ploy whenever you hear and give us a 5-star review. But what Josh is saying is correct, is that we want to hear if you don't like a segment, or if there's something you don't like, maybe we're beating up too much on the 2014 Cherokee or the Renegade and it's just bringing you down, let us know about it, because we do want to try to gear the show towards success and entertainment. So
absolutely. And speaking of entertainment, we have a couple of entertaining remarks that have been left on the XJ Talk forum by one of our members. He's got a couple of comments that he wanted to share with us in regards to the podcast. And Tony, why don't you go ahead and take the first one there?
You caught me taking a swig of coffee. Damn you.
Oh, boy. Sorry about that.
So this is from Heart Theft. He says, so do I have to say when I first, I do have to say, when I first started listening to the podcast, I downloaded 17 different podcasts. XJ Talk and a D&D podcast are the only two left. The only two good enough to be on my phone. Neither one is professional, underscore the professional, but they beat out all professional done shows that bored me. Wow, what a great, poorly read comment.
And a little bit of a backhanded compliment in there as well, but we'll take it. He also goes on to say, I think it's sad that of 17 shows, there were 15 that were professionally done in topics that I care about even. OXM, for example. I'm not sure exactly what that one means, but nonetheless, it's close to his heart. But he says that didn't best you two for entertainment. So that's really cool. Very kind words. Glad to hear it, and we love the feedback. Thank you, Heart Theft.
And this one was put on this show's YouTube comments right before we started it. It's from Cartman4241, who, by the way, gets very excited when we mention him on the show, because he made a comment, I think, on the last week's show about, hey, they mentioned my name. Anyway, the comment he put on this video was, Payday and XJ Talk Thursdays. Can't get any better. I mean, we're right there with money, Josh. We're right up there with money.
Well, I was going to say right there with the combinations of like peanut butter and chocolate. Payday and XJ Talk. Hey, it's a good combination right there.
And apparently, he hasn't put the payday and paying bills and XJ Talk together.
Yeah. Let's not get into collectors.
Yeah, I'm the same guy that's on Sunday evenings, reminding everybody on Twitter and Facebook that, hey, it's Monday Eve.
Yeah, gee, thanks. That's always wonderful news. At least for those of us who have the Monday through Friday blues. Yeah, again, guys, no iTunes or Stitcher reviews to share with you, but we do have those other comments that we love sharing with you guys. We love getting them as well. We are on iTunes. You can find virtually, a fair amount of the show's archive is over there. I don't know exactly how much. I know that you can find the entire show archive from show episode number 1 clear to this one over at xjtalkshow.com.
Oh, and by the way, the OXM is the official Xbox magazine.
Oh, there we go. Okay, he's a fellow gamer.
Yep. Well, with the Dungeon and Dragons podcast he's listening to, there you go.
Absolutely.
I think we should have changed that, Josh. We should have changed that to Off-Road Today or something that was real scratch and spit men's magazine,
There we go. There's certainly another off-road related podcast, if nothing else. So, hey guys, I know you might be expecting us to delve into some Amazon You Bought What. You're going to have to sit tight one more week. That returns next week. We'll bring back the Amazon You Bought What and have some more fun.
Every other week. And, by the way, if you'd like to get in on the possibility of your item being read next week, how do they go about doing that, Josh? You always say it so well.
Well, thank you, Tony. All you guys got to do is head over to the xjtalk.com or xjtalkshow.com's website. You'll see an Amazon banner right there on the homepage. Click on that banner. It pops you right over to Amazon.com. You can do any of your online shopping that you normally would do. And, they give us a little bit of a kickback. You're not going to spend a single dime more, not 1 red cent. It doesn't charge you any extra. Amazon is just grateful enough to give us a little something. It's a great way for you guys to help support your favorite podcast.
Absolutely. And we really appreciate all the support you guys have been giving us. A lot of support, actually. So we have a lot of things to read about on the Amazon You Bought What. Like Josh says sometimes we have a few curveballs.
Like I mentioned, the Bane mask and the crotchless panties.
Yeah, I like that. I liked how you worked that in. That was pretty funny.
That's a little inside baseball there.
Well, let's get into our next little segment here. One of the favorite ones, our chit chat, and I think that you had a little thing that you wanted to talk about. The wiring on the 99 trailer harness.
Yeah, I did some yard work a few weeks ago and had pretty much the entire side of my house piled up with a bunch of yard debris and stuff like that. Borrowed a trailer from a buddy, and I needed to get all that stuff into the trailer and off to the dump. And, I haven't towed anything with my Cherokee before other than another Cherokee, and that was on the trail. No really, trailer wiring needed for that. And so I figured I better get something since I'm going to be driving or, pulling a trailer on the street. Needed to hook it up right. I have a late model Cherokee, a 99 XJ, obviously. And for those, there's a plug-and-play harness available. No splicing, no crimping, no cutting in wires and poking and prodding, trying to find which one's the turn signal, which one's the running light. No, it's a plug-and-play module. Has a standard 4 or 5 pin plug on one end, a little module attached to it, and then two other plugs that just basically plug right into the factory harnesses that are found in the rear quarter panel. A very easy plug-and-play system. All you got to do is remove a few screws, get access to behind that interior panel there in the rear cargo area, and pop a couple of plugs open, plug these things in line, and the rest is just easy peasy. I got to say, it was flawless. It worked flawlessly. The entire install took just a matter of minutes. It was very inexpensive. I found these things online for as little as $17 and as much as $78. But I found one locally at a trailer shop very near my work for $30. I figured, all right, well, that's a pretty decent round number. I can't beat that for instant gratification, and that's exactly what I did. So it worked out really well. It's a nice little addition to the Jeep. Not necessarily an upgrade, but something that, is certainly going to come in handy later on down the road.
So, Josh, I started a post up on xjtalk.com once I saw the new, I guess it's the 2015 Mustang that's coming out, and it reminded me a lot of what they did to us. And when I say they, I mean Jeep. And when I say did to us, I'm talking about the 2014 Cherokee. Yeah, it reminded me a lot of what Jeep did, Ford's doing to their Mustang enthusiasts. Now, we got a lot of back and forth comments about it looks good, I'd drive it. I think one person said I'd wheel it, which isn't what you would do in a Mustang. But it was an interesting discussion. So if you guys are not part of xjtalk.com, you should come over there because we talk about all things under the sun.
No, absolutely. And Tony, you certainly started you were poking the beehive, I think, with this post over at xjtalk.com. Well, it opened up a little bit of a can of worms, didn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately, and I guess because of my inability to stay away from confrontations and maybe just general ignorance about how people think and act with one another, I was kind of surprised that there was the backlash that there was. Yeah, I went over there and we had a post that I think we even mentioned on last week's show about the 2014 Cherokee. And there was some posts that were poking fun at the members of that forum, and some of the moderators brought it to all the staff's attention that they didn't think that was right, that we should be making fun of the people that own the Cherokees, and they wanted to remove the post. And I hate the idea of removing posts from the site simply because that pretty much guarantees that somebody's going to say, well, it wasn't worth me taking my time to post on that site, because they're just going to remove it. And I kind of encourage let's good job. Let's remove the things where we're actually flaming or criticizing the people that bought the Cherokees, and let's focus on the Cherokee itself. I mean, if it's an opinion about the 2014 Cherokee, or if you don't like it, that's fine. And somebody made the comment that the right thing would be to at least let them know that we're talking about them, that we're talking about their 2014 Cherokee. So if they wanted to have a rebuttal, they could. So that's what I did. I thought, well, that's not a bad idea, and we might actually get some good information from these people that own the 2014 Cherokee, and they might be able to share some information with us that we don't know, because we don't have one, and I'm sure the majority of us never will. So that's all I did. Went over there and posted very nice, non-threatening, trying to be very, very sensitive about, somebody just coming in and saying, hey, we're making fun of you. And if you'd like to have a rebuttal, we'd like to know. I even mentioned the podcast, and in mentioning the podcast, I said we generally bash the 2014 Cherokee weekly, and I think I thought I did it in a humorous way.
Well, that's the way it came across to me, and maybe that's only because I know you. Now, I tried to read that objectively, and you're right. You didn't come across snarky. It wasn't insulting. It was more informative than anything else. Kind of a heads up, an FYI. Hey guys, this is going on. Figured you guys might know. We just go in and give you the chance to defend yourself and whatnot. But it was, I personally saw it as more innocent than anything. It wasn't, there to stir up the S. It wasn't there to poke fun at any one individual. Hey guys, we're this is who we are. We make fun of the Cherokees. We're not making fun of you. But if you'd like to come over and say something, here we are. Here's what's going on. That's it.
I told them about the podcast. I invited them to make comments on the voicemail so that we could play that we could play here. And since it was somebody else's site, I didn't want to go over there and just blatantly say xjtalk.com and XJ Talk Show and add and basically plug everything because I just felt that would be poor form, especially considering we were making fun of their beloved vehicle that they spent $40,000 on. So, or at least, was it 38? I guess the Trailhawk's around 38, wasn't it? Yeah, 35, 38. Wow. Anyway, so it's just, I tried to be friendly about it. And of course, the first comment I got was the words "I don't give a rat's ass" were prominently used, and I understand that. But again, if I respect you, I expect you to respect me. So I continued that respect and responded to a couple of more comments that were on there. One ended with, "I wish you hadn't posted here."
Yeah, I saw that one, and then there was another about 2 pages of people getting highly offended at the remark, just a fact that this was going on to begin with. it really blew up, and it blew up fast.
Well, see, you read more of it than I did, because the one where it says the one where the guy said, "I'm sorry you posted here," and my response was, "I'm just replying to comments. It's not my intention to post any more than what I have already. So you won't, I'm sorry if it offended you, or I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, and basically I'm just replying to comments, so you shouldn't have to worry about my posts in the future." So
right.
I just tried to assure him that, I'm not there to stir things up, etc. But I didn't get to read those, Josh. I didn't get to read those all those other comments. You know why?
Well, what happened?
Because I was banned.
Oh, no.
Yeah, when I tried to log on later, just curious, I was going to see if there was more comments. I hadn't received any more emails, and I was really surprised that I didn't get more comments than 2. So I logged on, and it says, "You have been banned for the following reason: posting unwanted spam. Date the time will be lifted. Never." Oh
no! You've been banned for life.
It's called a perm ban, and if for you guys that aren't hip, that's permanent. So anyway, I was just really surprised, and I noticed when I scrolled down to the bottom of the screen. Now, I had noticed when I first got on the site the day before, when I was just signing up for the account, man, they got a lot of ads. I mean, a lot of them. So when after I got banned and I really didn't have anything else to do, I scrolled all the way down to the bottom, and guess what? It's an autoguide.com website.
Oh, that explains it.
I think that explains why there's so many ads on there. But the thing that really shocked me is that this is a corporate-owned website, and I went on there with a very clear intent of letting these folks know what was going on our site, and if they wanted to have a rebuttal or have anything to say about it, we're more than welcome. And I was permanently banned from this site for, I don't know why. Spam? Unwanted? I can understand unwanted posts. Nobody likes to be told that they have terminal illness either, but you don't shoot the doctor.
No, I think somebody got a little butthurt. They may be a Cherokee owner, a 2014 Cherokee owner themselves, and they got their panties in a bunch. They took it as a personal attack, and they dealt with it in the only way they knew how, by eliminating any possible future of you hurting their feeling again.
So I took the opportunity to go over to the autoguide.com website and look up the contact us and send an email and basically told them the situation. I didn't say anything about wanting to be unbanned. I don't care. I said what all I wanted to say. Right. But I I took the opportunity to invite them to do an interview for the XJ Talk Show and discuss not only is this their corporate policy to ban people from sites that just happen to be not owners of the vehicles that the site is looking at. I was really shocked by that. I get the feeling that this was a past site that somebody had started, and AutoGuide, as they've done with several sites, swooped in, bought it, but left the person or persons in charge. And now this Jeep Forum Club, is that right? JeepForumClub.com?
No, it's Jeep Cherokee Club.
There we go. Thank you. I get the feeling they left the same people in charge of it, and they're acting like they're the owners.
Yeah.
And just, I don't like this, you're going away. And guys, I know I've harped on this. This is the reason why we started xjtalk.com. We didn't want members, having to deal with moderators and owners that have knee-jerk reactions to things that they don't like. Now, if you don't know, I'm the owner of xjtalk.com, but very early on, I wanted to surround myself with some good folks to be moderators, because I didn't want to be that guy that goes, well, that pisses me off, you're out of here. So I wanted to get people involved that I could trust and that they would have differing opinions from me, and we would all vote about how we would handle things. And I would be there to kind of guide and direct, but for the most part, at least 90%, it's whatever the moderators want to do, and we all have a voice. So, because xjtalk.com needs to be a friendly site where people can come and express themselves as long as they're respectful to other people. And that's why it was a good thing when the moderators pointed out we weren't being respectful to the members of this other site. So that's exactly why they're there, is to call out things like that. And we cleaned up the posts that were there and continued on. Now, sadly, the post has been removed.
Nah, well, you know.
And that was a call that the moderators made. It's one that I agree with, because that's why they're there, is to make that decision. But I would prefer not to have posts removed from the site. I think it discourages people from posting, and I would much rather prefer that we go in and edit the posts, and then through PM or some other private communication means, we talk to the poster and explain to them why we had a problem with this, why we had to edit it. And when we do edit it, it needs to be very, very light amount of editing. I don't really want to change the message. I just want to remove the bits that are the sticky bits, the poking bits.
Well, look, I'm going to continue to not pull any punches when it comes to the bashing of whatever Jeep decides to release next that is going to piss us off. But I've always done it in the format of bashing the vehicle, not the owners.
Yes.
And that's kind of where this comes from. We gave them the opportunity. They, in my opinion, kind of handled it wrong. But you know, hey, well. It's certainly very entertaining that this all came up, and it's definitely a funny story, Tony. So
yeah.
If anything ends up coming, if Auto Guide ends up getting back to you, are you going to let us know?
Absolutely. And I don't know if you recall or not, but somebody from Auto Guide was trying to purchase xjtalk.com. They were contacting me through email, and they had done so some 6-8 months prior. And I was telling them no thanks, no thanks, no thanks. And then I guess maybe 2-3 months ago, maybe longer, they contacted me again. And this had happened right after I had posted some stuff up about how do you guys feel about these Jeep sites being purchased by a corporation? Not necessarily that it's a bad thing. It's just usually an increase in advertisement and a little more distancing of perhaps the one-on-one that you have with the people that own the site. Because, you know, if you're a Jeep Cherokee owner and the person that owns and runs the hobby site is also a Jeep Cherokee owner, I think you feel a little more kinship with that person and the site itself. And then when that changes to a corporation that may not care a damn about your Cherokee, whether it be a 2014 or a real one, you see what I did there? That it just, you know, kind of sullies the experience, the forum experience. And actually I asked the guy, I said, hey, I just did a post about this, and we're going to be talking about this on the podcast. I'd like for you to do an interview and kind of explain what you guys are doing with kind of the same deal that I was doing with the 2014. Come defend yourself. My feeling is that this is a bad thing, and you're the people that are, you would represent the people that are buying these sites. So come in and do an interview with us, and let's hear your side of it. And I said, go, listen to the podcast, get a feel for the show, and let me know. And I think he did, and he came back within probably an hour or two and says, I don't think it would be in our best interest to do an interview with you.
Yeah. Afraid of the hard questions.
So, and I understand that. There's nothing, and I've said it before, there's not necessarily anything wrong with a corporation owning a website. It's just, I don't know, it kind of feels funny. It's like going to a prostitute instead of having a girlfriend is kind of what I think.
Well, hey, I'm going to switch gears here a little bit, Tony. And speaking of illegal activities, for those of you guys who don't know, my Honda was stolen back in December. I got it back right away. There's been all kinds of good stuff going on about that. Obviously, there was some damage that was done to it. The kid who had stole it, he was released under a supervised release, and very quickly ended up finding himself another stolen car and finding himself in the custody of police once again. So I got a call from the district attorney's office this week, and they're like, hey, you still interested in restitution? And I'm like, well, duh. Yes, of course I am. She's like, well, the window of opportunity is closing quite rapidly. I don't know how your paperwork got lost in the shuffle, but Nonetheless, we're having to have an emergency hearing here. Can you make it to court on Friday? And I'm like, well, I guess, yeah. So they said, okay, well, I'll call you right back. Let me get a hold of the district attorney's office, or the prosecuting attorney, or so. There was somebody that she had to talk to, and I'll call you right back. Okay, whatever. So basically, it was I would only have to show up if the restitution was being questioned, or they wanted to fight it. Or if the trial was going to get held over, the restitution hearing was going to get held over. I get a call back yesterday saying, yeah, you're going to have to show up because they're going to contest the restitution. I'm like, how the heck are they going to contest the restitution? The guy's
he's been found guilty, right?
Yeah, he admitted to it. He admitted to it. So here's what happened is that she got a hold of the his defense team or whatever, probably a public defender or whatever. Said, hey, there's going to be a restitution hearing. Does your client, your client has the right to contest this. And if he contests it, then he's going to get pulled out of jail and has to go to court and defend his reasoning for contesting it. And I'm assured that the guy's just pissed off because he's locked up in jail. He's got one hell of a sentence in front of him. He's not getting out anytime soon. And he wants to see some sunshine. So he's going to contest this, get the handcuffs, go for a little joyride in the van, and go and have his court in day. Unfortunately, it's going to be the same day that I have mine, so I get to confront the guy who stole my car.
That's great.
That's going to be just wonderful, let me tell you. So yeah, I'm going to court as we are recording this. It's going to be tomorrow, so that's Friday, and yeah, it's going to be very interesting to find out what's going to happen. So I've spent half the week here trying to get a bunch of evidence all put together, auto body company quotes for all the damages done, pictures that I've got of all the damages and crap that he left in my car.
I was going to say, make sure you do the trash too, because there should be a cleanup fee.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I asked,
and what the hell was that smell?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if I'm going to be actually able to address him personally or not.
Put on there a bottle of Febreze. Actually, put 2 bottles.
I don't know, as far as legalities go, whether or not I'm going to be, able to actually address him or not.
Well, I'm sure you'll be able to give him a really nasty scowl. Hey, before the whole thing starts, if you have an opportunity, I'd like for you to do something.
Take a picture?
No, that too.
With him?
That too, but ask the bailiff or the judge or whoever's available, the district attorney, ask them if you're able to do the show on Thursdays, 10 p.m. from jail. Just in case. You get out of hand.
I dive over the bench and give it what for.
I'd be the type person to actually ask that question. And then people look at me funny, like, "Are you serious?"
Your Honor, could I have 5 minutes alone, please? So yeah, guys, I'm sure I'll have some stories to tell you next episode. So stay tuned, episode 127, to find out what happens with Josh's restitution hearing.
Well, I'm glad you're keeping us up to date on this because I had forgotten about it.
Well, it's a lot of fun. It's certainly interesting. Not something that happens every day, and certainly not to everybody. So I figured, hey, if you guys get a little bit of entertainment from my suffering or from my experiences, then so be it.
Hey, guys, we got a real short but good segment here on our Wrangler segment this week. And I just want to take an opportunity to remind you guys that we're not only an XJ Talk website. No, we haven't started the 2014 Jeep Cherokee site yet. But we do have a Wrangler website, a regular Wrangler forum. Same type of format as xjtalk.com. Friendly, no criticism. It's called, strangely enough, wranglertalk.com. So a little slow over there. Like I've said before, it only takes a good 2, 3, maybe 5 people that are dedicated that go over there and post and start talking and answering questions, and you will see it explode. So if you'd like to be in on a new Wrangler site, it's been around a while, but as far as new as getting started, please come join us at wranglertalk.com.
Hi, I'm Rob from CoolGuyStuff.tv, bringing you another segment of All Things Wrangler. This week, we're changing it up just a bit because I am in Vegas on location at a convention. This convention is called the OMG 2014 convention. You could check it out online at omg2014.org. But what it is, it's a convention held by stupidcancer.org. Now, that is an organization that basically tries to bring awareness and kind of facilitate other services for young adults and kids that have cancer. So every year there's about 75,000 kids and young adults diagnosed with cancer. Out of that, about 50% of them make it. So you can see how this is real important. Anyways, again, check that out at omg2014.org. You can get all the info there. And for today, we're going to cover something called the Jeep Wrangler Cargo Management System. Okay, so what that is that actually is still in concept. The guys at Mopar are kind of out there in Moab this week testing out some different things, different concepts. One of them is this cargo management deal. It came right from the Cherokee, so I'm not sure if it's the older Cherokees that had something similar to this, or if it's right out of that new one that they have out. But it's essentially a way to keep your packs in place. Okay, so it's kind of like a strip that connects right to the cargo gate, and you can attach a trail kit and like a first aid kit, maybe your lunch or whatever else you want to this thing, and it's really cool. I noticed there is a YouTube video, just kind of YouTube Jeep Wrangler Cargo Management System, and it should come up. It's by Chrysler, so it's just a quick little minute blurb on it. Very cool. I hope it does come to market, and more importantly, once it comes to market, I can't wait to see what the aftermarket guys do to make it even cooler. What made me even think of this was just yesterday I was driving down the street, just normal. I wasn't speeding. I wasn't driving like an idiot or anything, and I just turned right, and I had an entire 5-gallon bucket spill out into my cargo area, and I had tools, nails, screws, a million things in the stupid 5-gallon bucket, and it was a nightmare to pick up, and it was super annoying. So I thought, oh yeah, that cargo management system I saw the other day would be perfect. If I had it right here, I could have avoided this mess. Anyway, check it out on YouTube, Jeep Wrangler Cargo Management System. If you want to find me, Rob Spencer X on Twitter, coolguystuff.tv. Until next week, guys, thanks for listening, and check out stupidcancer.org.
Hey, that's great, Rob. Thank you. I'm going to have to check that out myself because, guys, you don't know until you've flipped a Cherokee on its side or worse on its top how much stuff that you're carrying, because it's pretty much going to be all on top of you. And if it's a high lift jack, it might kill you.
Ooh,
so take the time to look around and think about all the potentially deadly objects that you have in your Jeep, and think of ways of tying them down. Hey, Josh, with this audible.com thing that we're doing, it reminded me of the audio book that I have on my phone and my audible.com app, the great Kristen Johnston book Guts, and I started listening to that again the other day, and it was neat because of how we're doing this Audible thing that it reminded me, and it's just really enjoyable to be riding to and from work, listening to a book being read to you, and in this case, by the author.
Yeah, there's been a couple books that I've picked up. One of them was from an author who I've actually have read not read. I've listened to several other of his audiobooks, and that's Scotty Siegler. He's a Northwest native. He lives up in Seattle, in fact, and he does some fantastic sci-fi type stuff. And by sci-fi, I don't mean like, Star Trek type sci-fi. I mean like kind of weird, bizarre type of infection. I mean, this one I'm reading I think it's called Infection. I'm listening to, and it's just way bizarre. It's definitely sci-fi, and it's really cool. It has me on the edge of my seat at work while I'm bored, and listening to audiobook is one way to keep me sane. And guys, you can get in on this kind of stuff as well. Very easy to do. Audible.com is where you go. They've got over 150,000 titles across pretty much any imaginable topic you can think of, like from the sci-fi that I was talking about to, some biography type stuff like Tony was talking about there. To get you started, the XJ Talk Show has got your hookup. All you got to do is go to audibletrial.com/XJ Talk Show.
and instantly get one free title of your choice. That's right. You head over to the website, you sign up, you get one free title of your choice. Any book you want, anything that you want for free on audible.com. All you got to do is sign up through the audibletrial.com/xjtalkshow. And, well, that's how you get something for nothing, guys. Hook yourself up, hook us up, and, well, we're all going to be listening to some good audiobooks here real soon.
Yeah, and I personally would recommend XJ Talk Show, Audible book, XJ Talk Show, Audible book. When you're not listening to a podcast or a book, you should be on xjtalk.com or wranglertalk.com. I think I got it covered, right? I mean, that's your whole entertainment future right there in front of you.
Yep, exactly. And we got you covered as well with the Jeep tips coming up right now. Another fantastic Jeep tips, I believe, by Steve, 4.3 LXJ. This one about rock sliders.
Yes, sir. And now for a disclaimer. Jeep tips is for entertainment purposes only. If you choose to follow these tips, man up and take the responsibility for your own actions. If you cannot, or you feel that working on your Jeep is beyond your abilities, seek the help or advice of a trained certified mechanic.
Got a tip? We do. It's time for Jeep tips.
Today I'd like to talk about rock sliders. This is a pretty easy upgrade if you have an XJ, YJ, ZJ, WJ, CJ, Liberty, whatever. There's many companies out there that make rock sliders for all of these vehicles. And you might be asking, well, what's a rock slider and why do I need one? Well, a rock slider protects your rocker panel. That's that area that's right underneath your door. And in a XJ, the Cherokee, and also the ZJ and WJ, Grand Cherokees, that part is kind of vulnerable and it's very important. It's part of what forms the structural integrity of your unibody, and it's considered a strong area. So you want to kind of preserve it if you can. It helps keep your vehicle stiff. And of course, we've had another episode on in reinforcing the frame area so that there's not quite so much load on the rockers. But the rockers are important, and you really need to keep them intact. I know that Tony has found a stump with his rockers, and Josh actually bent his rock slider out in the Tillamook State Forest, and I have 3 dents in my rocker panels, all from the same rock. I've managed to get the same one 3 times over a period of about 10 years. So rock sliders are important. Keeps those rockers intact. And so I built my own set, but they're easy to get. There's many different companies that have them available. There's JKS, Orfab, Smittybilt, 4x-Guard, Rocky Road, Acme Jeep Parts, and the list goes on. There's so many companies out there that are making them now for just a number of vehicles, and they can look good. They can look a little bit ugly, but most of them look pretty good now. A lot of them are using modern techniques for forming and machining and cutting metal, and some of them look pretty sharp. Most all of them mount in 2 places. There's a couple of places that bolt to the frame, and then or sometimes they're welded, and then they're bolted to the pinch seam underneath the rocker panel. And it's actually a very strong area. It's a good place to bolt to. And if you have these rock sliders bolted there and you happen to come down on something, what it does is it spreads all of the forces out along the rocker and possibly the frame, and it makes it so that it's not such a shock to the vehicle. It may feel like a shock when you hit because it is kind of a jolt. But as far as the vehicle is concerned, it spreads the forces out so you don't end up with dents and things bending. Now, if you're a fabricator and you want to build your own, there's a couple of different things you can do that will help your rocker situation. One is you can do something called boat sides, and this is a rocker that goes from the frame, you've got to weld it in, and you cut out the rocker panel itself up even with the bottom of the door opening, and you weld a plate to the edge of the door opening there, even with it, and so it ends up with a slanted look, sort of like the bow of a boat, and that's why they're called boat sides. This is a good deal. It gives you a lot of clearance. It gives you a lot of strength, and if you're real handy and you've got some spray paint after you can put on afterwards, not a bad deal. But you need to be able to weld sheet metal to thicker metal to be able to do this. You're going to need a good wire feed welder and know how to use it. The other option that you can do that's popular is to cut out the rocker panel all except for the pinch seam and weld in either a 2x6 or a 3x6 square tubing, well, it'd be rectangular tubing, in that area. And what this does is it gives you a square tubing rock slider like the kind that we talked about you could buy, but it has the advantage of being about 3 or 4 inches taller, so you gain some clearance that way. And if you get it all welded into your unibody and so forth, it'll make that area quite strong and you won't have to worry about anything. All in all, rock sliders are easy to bolt on for the most part, the ones you buy. You can probably install them in about no more than 2 hours. If you have a little help, you can get it done in an hour with average tools. They look nice. They make your rig look more like a rough and tumble 4x4, and of course they're functional. Another nice thing about them is you can sort of use them as a step if you need to for people crawling in. And of course it adds to the strength. And there's one other function that you get from them that is probably not talked about too much, and that is side crash safety. Our XJs were not really built to take a side impact, and these will give it some strength in that area so that if you do have a side impact, it provides a little greater measure of safety so that the body doesn't fold in so bad if somebody hits you. So if you can't justify it from a damage point of view, you can certainly justify getting something like this from a safety point of view. So all in all, it's a win-win situation.
Hey, this is Tony.
And this is Josh from the XJ Talk Show. We want to thank you for calling our 24/7 voice line.
Yes, we do. Just leave your first name and your question or comment.
There's no guarantee, but we may play your message on the podcast.
Oh, and don't worry about keeping it clean. We'll take care of that.
Now it's your turn to speak at the beep.
Hey, this is Joliet Johnny. Went outside to go to work last night, and there was a 2014 parked next to me. I was wondering if you could recommend a good car cover, something that might disguise it to make it look like a Mini Cooper or something. I know Jeeps like to park next to each other, but ain't a real Jeep, so just hoping you guys have some ideas. All right, bye.
The immediate thing that came to mind was bird droppings. I thought he wanted to cover for his.
Hey, this is Nikki G. And I just saw on the news that Ford's doing a promotion that they placed a Mustang on the observation deck of the Empire State Building. Yeah, Jeep tried that with the 2014 Cherokee, but the tourists kept trying to push it over the railing. All right, guys, I'll chat later. Have a good one. Bye.
And now it's time for Scooby-Doo Mystery Files. Today's episode, The Case of the Missing Heart. Jeepers, I think heart theft did it. And I would have gotten away with it, too, if it weren't for my forum name being so obvious. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
That was some heart theft, if you didn't get the joke.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Nikki G. And Tony as Iron Man. Would that make the moderator of the new 2014 Cherokee Forum Minotaur Iron Man's arch nemesis?
Oh.
Yeah, see you later. Have a good one. Bye.
Good one.
Hey, Tony and Josh. This is XJ calling. I was just listening to the podcast from last week again. Tony, I definitely think you should look into those zipper pulls to help your wife get her top off. Then maybe we could stop talking about the hot ball joints. All right, guys, have a good week. Keep her side up.
Well, thank you anyway for all the voicemails.
Oh, I guess Tony's wife needs some help getting her top off. Okay, so hey, summer is right around the corner, guys, and we all love going topless. Hey, I've got a sunroof on my Jeep, about as close as I'm going to get.
But I can't go topless. I'm too close to the airport, Josh.
Well, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm going to have to bronze you up like Jeep did with one of those concepts.
I'm too white for that, man. I'd just get skin cancer.
Well, hey, you guys can stay indoors and do all the surfing you want. We got plenty of places for you to go to get your XJ Talk fix. We are on Facebook. We're even on Twitter, so make sure you're signing up and following us. Stitcher Radio and TuneIn.com. You can find live feeds of us there as well. And iTunes. You, of course, are always mentioning iTunes, where you guys can find our show archive at. Of course, YouTube.com. Well, we have a channel there, always posting up new videos, and this is where we broadcast a live show every Thursday night, 10 p.m. Central.
Yeah, I want to thank Rob and, of course, Steve, 4.3LXJ on xjtalk.com for our Jeep Tips, Wrangler and Jeep Tips segment tonight. And really interesting about the sliders. And I know firsthand because that little Fiat sideswiped me coming home one night. And the big tires, because the video up on YouTube, that's one of the reasons to subscribe to us on YouTube. There's a video on there about how I was a victim of hit and run, and one of those little red Fiats came up and sideswiped me, but with the Detours rock sliders and frame stiffeners and the big tires, I got no mark. It was enough to jostle me a little bit in the Jeep. Went to pull over and they took off. So you never can tell what a slider might do for you, both on and off road. So great information from Steve, and don't forget about tying your cargo down. Look at something. Look at those cargo nets, cargo tire downs, bolts shit down to the floor, guys. Don't get hit in the back of the head with it.
Absolutely. And speaking of good information, if there's something that you want to find out about at one of our shows, or it's a topic that you can't find, or you don't remember which episode it was on, head over to xjtalkshow.com. We just got a search field over there. You can type in anything you want, and hopefully get you to the right episode. And of course, xjtalkshow.com and xjtalk.com is why we're here, guys. Make sure you're telling a friend all about us.
Have a great Jeep week.
See you next time.
xjtalk.com is where you go when you're not off-road. And now you can go to xjtalk.com when you're off-road too. Using your smartphone, install the Tappa Talk app, then search for XJ Talk. Take XJ Talk with you wherever you go. Jury duty, dinner with your spouse's parents, even, well, anywhere you need your XJ Talk fix.
Tony, we didn't mention the voicemail line number once on that whole show.
I did the promo for it.
Oh, yeah, you did, didn't you?
Where the guy came in.
Okay, at least we got it once on there.
Yeah, it would have been good to have it at the right time, but trying to squeeze something in there at the very end. Boy, how many times have we said that in opportune times? So hope it didn't go too long on the 2014 Cherokee. Well, maybe not so much long as in harping on it too much.
That went a little bit long on that. I mean, we could have trimmed that up a little bit. I mean, really all that did was just kind of make the tail end of the show a little rushed, I think. But no, not bad. I mean, we spent a good amount of time on it.
Yeah. Well, and I forgot, I wanted to mention there in the regular show that I wanted to encourage everyone not to go to xjtalk.com and retaliate in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
That would not be the right thing to do. It would not be appropriate. And sure, it would be funny, but don't do it. So let's see what we got here. Wesley Revel says, "Well done, gents. Thank you very much." Heart Theft says, "Chat was dead today." He must mean on xjtalk.com. There's a bot on there, strangely enough, called XJ Josh that you can talk to. Ask him time and stuff like that. So not as good as an automated back rub, but close. And let's see what else we got here. Somebody chatted. So it moved everything. Let's see. Oh, wow. It moved quite a bit.
Wes Ravel says, "This show is too short anyways, but I'm not talking."
Well, we're trying to get it down to an hour. We're thinking that somebody actually might want to buy it and put it on their radio, actual RF generating radio. No, we're really not. That would be pretty funny if it happened. I think Josh and I would be insufferable if I can steal a word from another podcaster. If we were actually radio broadcasters.
So earlier, I think during or before the pre-show, it says, "Well, Josh is putting away all his toys and Bane mask. Tony is getting more iced tea." And then somebody says, "No, Josh is putting away the mask and Tony is playing with his ball joints."
Now, I was drinking coffee out of this cup right here. Look at that. Look, people, it says xjtalk.com. And then it says administrator.
I was going to ask you during the show, but we went long, and I knew it would end up taking up too much time. But
Yeah.
did you end up installing your ball joints last weekend?
No.
Oh.
And there's going to be a baby shower here at the house Saturday.
Baby shower.
Yeah.
Who's expecting?
My stepson is having a baby, and I've been giving my wife a hard time about I don't know if I can be married to a grandma.
Oh, jeez. I hope she's a good sport for your sake.
Well, after 20-something years of marriage, she pretty damn well has to be. So, I got more kids, and I ain't got no grandbabies to talk about. I'm not no stinking grandpa. But there you go. So anyway, yeah, that's happening Saturday. So actually being outside would probably be a good idea. I actually contacted Matt Tuesday, I guess, on chat and asked him if he was going to be at the shop this weekend, because I was looking for someplace else to be, and I was going to run out there and get a new front seat for my or a new-ish front seat for my Cherokee, because I've got that. What is it called? The boss slant to it.
Oh,
what do they call it? What do you kids call it these days?
The gangster lean.
Yeah, there you go. And it's that, and mainly the vinyl on the side is all broken up and peeled away, and just looks like crap. So he ran across a Cherokee. I think Patrick purchased it. And he and Patrick went in on it half and half, and it was a 98 Classic, I think. So it has the exact same seats that I have in mine. Mine are a little unusual with the headrest and et cetera, et cetera. So I was going to go and pick those up, just haven't been able to get over there and do it. And he is going to be in Corpus with his lovely wife. They're going to be celebrating their anniversary.
Oh, wow. How many years?
I don't know. I didn't ask. So can't go do that. And then I was asking him about this wheeling trip that is coming up here in May. That's about 3 hours from here, which is a little longer drive than what I'd really like to make, just because I don't really want to stay in Round Rock, Texas, overnight. But I think it'd be fun to go up there. There's that wheeling event, a I don't have it in front of me, but some sort of military support. Wounded some people that actually had been wounded in service in Iraq and in Afghanistan, and they were also going to be taking volunteers to give rides to some of these soldiers that are going to be there that the event is focused on. And I think it'd be pretty cool. Take a wounded warrior on a fun ride. Although I can imagine they went through some pretty hairy rides in the Humvees and tanks and things in service. But at least it would be nice knowing that nobody's shooting at you. Even though it is Texas, nobody would be shooting at you off road. You just think people are shooting at you because we use handguns to signal lane changes.
Mm-hmm.
It's all up in the air, so it's fine. Don't have to worry. And when the bullets come down, they don't even hit as hard as hail does around here, so it doesn't really leave a mark. But anyway, he said Matt would have to have a little more time, a little more notification than what I was giving him. So I may be going off-road here pretty soon, although I would like to have the lockers in and a few other things done prior to that. I'm kind of getting the itch. It'd be nice to go now before it gets really hot outside.
Yeah.
And now that the oil leak is manageable and the highway temps aren't always increasing up higher and higher, I should be able to drive places and do things and actually get there and get back home. I just probably stay a little closer to home than going to Central Texas. Looking forward to seeing Dean Murray. Dean Murray? Is it Murray?
Oh,
Murphy?
yeah. You're gonna look with Dean?
Yeah, looking forward to seeing him because, he's moving, or maybe he's already moved, up around Aggieland, maybe an hour from where I live. So looking forward to getting out on the trail with him and his Radical XJ, get some pictures of that thing, see if I can follow him.
Yeah, that thing is just amazing. You're gonna bring a handkerchief with you. You're gonna end up drooling.
Well, I really thought you were going a different direction. I thought you were going to be saying something I was going to wipe in my ass because trying to follow him.
An A on it or something.
Because I would be going, oh, wear some Depends because it's going to be coming out.
It says, Wes Ravel says, I love this chit chat. You have a live call-in number. And I said, we do, but it's not on tonight.
Yeah, I have to bring the laptop in, and maybe I should start doing that. We discussed that last week, I think, about go ahead and doing the, having a little thing, maybe not talking about it on the show, but having the scroll at the bottom, and that if people call in, we could segue over to that. The only thing I can say is we'll probably have to drop something out of the show.
Yeah, I was going to say we're already so packed in the show that it would be one of those things where we'd have to, if we do anything with the chit chat, it might have to get cut there. Seems like we end up spending a good 10-15 minutes on chit chat usually.
Well, I don't know about you, Josh, but that's kind of like my favorite part.
Well, yeah, I mean it's free form, it's long form, it's BSing, it's it's what you and I do best. But I'd hate to take something out like This Week in Jeep or Jeep Tips or something else that's it's more informative than you and I just BSing about our Jeeps.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think what us being BSing about our Jeeps is informative. I mean, we're talking about. Don't forget the draw. The same thing, at least I think, the same thing with the forum is why do you want to listen to a couple of knuckleheads talk about Jeeps and what you should do with them if they're not actual owners and they don't experience things themselves? So the same type of things that we experience allow people to look at us, listen to us, and say, I've gone through the same thing. They can relate, in other words. And I think that's a good thing. I think that helps them get a good feel who we are and maybe give us a little latitude when we go off the rails sometimes and talk about The Walking Dead or something,
Yeah.
Or Mustangs. I still need to grab that soundbite from Denver D1 about it's a Jeep podcast, guys.
Oh yeah, pull that out of that voicemail.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
So Heart Theft. No, who was it that said that? Yeah, it was Heart Theft. He says xjtalk.com. It's where you go when you're supposed to be working.
That's right.
I have to get a drop for that. Oh, so did you get a chance to see the new titles? The
Yes,
title bars?
looks great. Yeah, I like the off-road tire. That's a really nice touch.
Yeah, I'd actually contracted somebody on Fiverr to do a animation of an off-road tire because I was going to have that tire slowly spinning.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
And a guy in India, and he had like a 7-day turnaround. Day 2, he said, for $5 more, I'll get this to you today.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, I can wait. It's fine. Yeah. I don't mind tipping. I'll tip good for, good work. But I had never used this guy before, and I have no idea what I'm going to get from him. So I'm not going to promise him anything. I don't think that's the way you should do business. You agree to do something for $5. That's what you need to do, and then hope it pays off for you. And day 7 rolls around. He sends me a request about canceling the project.
What? Oh, he bit off more than he could chew.
No, he didn't want to do it for $5.
Well, what are you doing on Fiverr then?
Exactly. So I did not agree to the cancellation. And then a day, because if you don't respond to it in a certain length of time, it automatically agrees to the cancellation, and then there's no bad repercussions for the person that has the service, up there. I mean, it may say there was a cancellation, but it's not like a negative thing. So he was just trying to get out of having any bad review on his account. In other words, I don't want to do this for $5, and I want to get out of it, and I want to see if I can find somebody down the road that'll spend more than $5 because it ain't going to be you. And so anyway, when he requested the cancellation again, which I believe that's the way it was, it could have been automated from Fiverr. I'm not sure. I sent him a note, and I said, it appears to me that you are wanting, $10 to do this job. And I got a problem with that. Not because it's $10, but because you agreed that you wanted to do this for $5. So do it. And it didn't happen. I'm sorry. Actually, he did finally respond with something 3 days late. And I accepted it and didn't download it and don't care. Because I wasn't treated like a customer should be treated. I mean, if you want to say, hey, I'm sorry, I really need more than $5 for this, and I shouldn't have had the thing I shouldn't have had the ad up, blah, 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 that's fine. But don't just try to be a slime ball and say, oh, yeah, you waited the full 7 days, and now I'm going to cancel it so that I can get out of it. Absolutely no communication from this guy whatsoever. Contacted another guy, and I wanted to find out how much they actually wanted to do this 3D rendering. And I sent a long note to this guy explaining everything. And the guy responds 3 days later with, hey, sorry I didn't get back to you sooner. I really don't have time for this right now.
What?
Yeah. And I started to sending back a thing saying, well, why don't you put your campaign or whatever it is called on hold so people don't waste their time contacting you. I mean, I went through a fairly detailed message so he would understand exactly what I wanted to do, so he would be able to estimate his time and how much it would cost. And it was just like, sorry I didn't get back to you sooner. I know it's been 3 days. I don't have time for this. Thank you very much.
Wow.
So, yeah. That was an American guy, too. So that one makes more sense to me than somebody over in India. Because $5 in India, that's like $4.95 here.
Got Heart Theft asking for our voicemail number in chat.
Voicemail? I can look that up here.
I got it.
You got it?
Yep.
Do it in your radio announcer voice.
That's 503-675-4102.
Just a bit outside. You know, I was watching a show the other day about, God, what was it? Oh, America's Book of Secrets. And, you know, I don't know if you're aware of this guy or not, Man Cow.
Man Cow. Now, is anything like Man Bear Pig?
I think that's probably something that where he got that from, but I've seen him on some TV things, but apparently he's a talk show DJ type person. And he talks like this all the time. He's very loud, and he talks very authoritatively, except he pronounces it correctly.
Mancow Muller.
But the way he talks, it's really funny because he's like yelling, but he's not. Now, on TV, he wasn't doing that, but his radio DJ talk show type host thing, it was anyway. It was funny to see him on there on the America's Book of Secrets. Watch that.
There's a video online of him getting waterboarded.
Oh, appropriately, or was he on his belly?
No, like very appropriately. I mean, the whole thing. I'm sure it was a stunt for the a publicity stunt or something like that. But yeah, I'm not playing it, but I'm seeing a little image snippet of it, and yeah, he's getting waterboarded.
Yeah, I can actually play those videos on our video stream. I need to figure that out and get it set up, and then when we have little situations like this where we can play stuff for the audience, we could play a little snippet and comment on it, and I think still be outside the copyright infringement deal.
Here, I'm going to say heart theft. You're listening still. If you want to do something like that, as far as an audio promo type thing goes, download an app onto your phone called Tape a Talk, not to be confused with Tap a Talk. It's Tape a Talk, and it's a good program to record stuff with your phone that can get you at least closer to broadcast quality than just leaving a voicemail. And then I'll go ahead and get you some directions on how to get that to us if you wanted to do something like that for us. Otherwise, if you don't want to bother with it, the voicemail thing works as well.
Yep, and the correct number is 530, not the dyslexic 503.
Man, I am dyslexic today. I've been doing it all day long. I'm having a really hard time today.
Yep, 530-675-4102. Live for you calling now. Yeah, and like we always say, you don't have to worry about somebody's phone ringing. So if well,
unless you dial that 503 number, somebody's gonna
get... Actually, you may have somebody answering the phone if you call 503.
Oh,
that would be fun to do, wouldn't it?
The Windows Phone does not support the Tape a Talk.
Windows Phone.
That's too bad.
Yeah, it is. Well, we hit most of them with Android and iPhone because that's what the Tape a Talk does, support those two. Let's see. I can do a quick search. Are you still doing the promo?
No, I'm done.
Oh, wow. Windows Phone digital audio recorder.
Well, I'm sure that phone has got to have a built-in audio recorder of some kind. I don't know.
Yeah, but the nice thing about the Tape a Talk is it's stereo.
Yeah.
You can record in wave, and I think it even supports 96 kilohertz sample rate. So you can get a quite nice recording with that. So let's see, that's a voice recorder. And actually, when I say stereo, I don't know that it's actually true stereo because I don't know that there's actually two microphones on the telephone.
Yeah, it probably records a mixed mono.
Mm-hmm. It sounds good though. Let's see. Fox Magic Audio Recorder.
There you go.
Record sound from various sources as WAV or MP3. But I don't know if that's for Windows Phone. I mean, that's the search I did, but it could just be for Windows. But you can do a search if there's like a store or something for Microsoft apps. You can go that direction and see if you can find something. But the key things you're looking for are stereo, WAV, WAV, which is a file format, and high sample rate. You want 44.1 kilohertz or higher. Yeah, it might be listed as 44.1K. So anyway, before Josh turns into a pumpkin, we better record our little weekly promo and let him get off to bed. I've had a long nap today. I was telling Josh in chat that I was out sick today. I got really dizzy last night, which is very unusual for me, and a little scary, and checked my blood sugar levels, and they were a little high. And when I woke up this morning, I was still a little dizzy, and I was a little concerned about getting 30 miles from home or 25 miles from home, and being in worse shape and not being able to drive home. So I took a day off and stayed home to recover and stop eating all that stuff I'm not supposed to be eating, and see if I can get my blood sugar levels down.
No, you're munching on that Easter candy, aren't you?
Oh, I don't actually eat candy. I stay away from that because I think that's just way too high in sugar. But the little like pastry things with the cream cheese and the bread, I'll have those.
That'll do it.
Yeah. And but I try to space it out, and it's hell. I've always enjoyed eating. I've worked hard on my physique, and the love of eating shows that. But unfortunately, that is not conducive with me being a healthy individual anymore. So got to go back to the bland eating, the no frills, no pizza, no fun, lots of bacon, because it's just meat. As long as it's not honey bacon, I'm sure I'm okay. Anyway, guys, we're going to wrap it up here on the post show. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. We hope you enjoyed the show. When I say we, I mean me and Josh. I'm hoping Josh thinks the same way.
Oh yeah,
and really appreciate you being here. And tell your friends, help encourage your friends on Facebook, all the people that you know, to come join us on the show. Josh and I would dearly love to have just a full hour of call-ins, but we just don't feel comfortable doing it without a certain number of people watching the show, because we could wind up with a lot of dead air, or just Josh and I talking about things, which some may enjoy. I don't know, but we think as a value-added type thing, that's probably not the greatest thing. Now, if it's us talking to you on the phone and you talking for the whole hour, as in multiple calls with multiple people, then I think that's worth doing. Everybody likes a talk show, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I just found out some very interesting information. The number which I very dyslexically posted up in the chat there, the 503-675-4102, belongs to the Clackamas ESD services, specifically the Oregon Head Start pre-kindergarten direct line.
That would probably not go over well.
That would probably not go so well if we had some of our members calling in and leaving messages there. Please do not call that number.
Here's one I could think of. I'm wearing my Bane mask.
Yeah,
Batman's coming. So that probably would not be good for the pre-K. That would not be good at all.
No, not so much. All right, guys, we're going to do this promo. Thank you, everybody who was in chat tonight. Very, very active. So hope to see you guys again next week, and hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you again.
This is Brian Myers from JC Off-Road, and I just been overhauled. You're listening to XJ Talk Show.
Ooh, red Jeeps are sexy.